is a walk-in cooler. I had a leak on this system. It's so small I couldn't find it for a long time. Now it finally opened up and got big enough for me to find. Actually, I was able to see it without even putting soap on it. But let me see if I can see our window. You see it spurting out right there? It's right there. Copper goes in the back there. I'll spray some. Bubbles out of here. It's coming out so fast right now that it's just it's coming out so fast right now it's not going to bubble. It's just pushing the soap off. What's happened is this old tubing. This old tubing that's it's old tubing that's corroded a little bit and it pitted and finally let go. It's got some pretty good pits in it. But, I'll go pump it down now. Okay, this is the unit. I converted this over this summer to 407F, and I just put 6 pounds of gas in it. It was just out completely. I put 6 pounds of gas in it. And what I did with just now is I took it had this single pressure control on it and a high pressure switch here. Look at this. It was on the high side. Oh well. Took those old, this pressure control. If I pumped it down, it wouldn't shut off. I would have to hit it with a hammer or a wrench, and the switch would open up. So I changed that. And what I do is I combine the two. That's a low pressure switch, and that's a high pressure switch. And I just combined the two of them and got a dual pressure control. The left side is high side function, and the right side is the low side function. I have to set the cut in and cut out on it. I have it approximately set right now. But right now what I have to do is turn the king valve off, close it all the way off, and stop the refrigerant from getting past that point, and the compressor will stay running, and the refrigerant going through the lines into the store, through the evaporator coil in the store, and coming back in the suction line, and then through the suction line right in through the compressor through the condenser, and it'll fill up in the receiver tank. All right, let me do that. Closing the valve off now. This is called the king valve, coming off the receiver tank. That would be watch. the system cuts out at, and I can set my control. I want to set it around 1 or 2 pounds above zero because it's a pump down system. It's winter time, it gets pretty cold out here. Cut in on it is 15 pounds cut in. Day before Thanksgiving, and everybody waits till today to put calls in. It's already late afternoon. I have 2 more calls to go on. Out in Vermilion, Ohio, I have to go into Wesley. This leak is just one little spot, and it's not worth pulling the nitrogen out and then having to pull vacuums and everything else. So what I'm going to do is just braze it up. You don't want to leave nitrogen in a system, and you don't want the compressor to start up if you have nitrogen gas in the system. It's important to, it can actually break the compressor in half. It'll blow the head off of it. The nitrogen doesn't compress like Freon does. Okay, I'm right at 0 pounds pressure. Cut off. I'll leave it there. Okay, now I want to open a line up to vent it. So if any pressure builds up, so my suction's open, hose is open here. Not going to get any air in the system really. Okay, I cleaned that elbow off just to show you the pitting on this copper. It's got pock marks in it. All the elbows have that. It's just a matter of time. This will have to be changed out. What'll happen is I'm fixing a leak right on this line here. You can see how pocked that is. I'm fixing a leak here today. Next month I'll be fixing a leak over here, and then a month after that down here, and then on the other side. It's just what happens on these older coils. It's going to be a little tough fixing this because the aluminum fins behind this plate, the copper behind the plate, it's going to act like a big heat sink. So I'm going to heat this up and heat this up and heat this up, and it'll just keep taking it off. I might have to shut the fans off. I can probably put some braze on in here too. We'll see. What I did was I put some stay silv on it. It's pretty good stuff. Got my little MC tank out. see if we got it. Gotta put some pressure on the line. Okay. Let's see if we got it. I think we got that. What I'm gonna do is just fire up the leak detector and just go around. This is the field piece leak detector. The field piece infrared leak detector is fairly good. The H10PM is a better one though, but just for general purpose I'll use this one. I keep this one in my pouch and warm up a little. It's going off pretty good before right here. It's not going off at all now. Check the other end of the coil just to be safe. Oh, I'm pretty happy. I think we got that leak. Apparently it's been leaking a while and I haven't been able to find it. Put gas in it a number of times. Now it finally, with expansion and contraction, a little bit more corrosion, it finally broke open. It's a pretty good sized leak. You don't usually find a leak that big. Okay, I'm weighing the gas in. Okay, I'm weighing the gas in. You can see it going in. What I do is, I've got the tank there and I've got a valve on the hose here. And I have it just cracked open a little bit so the liquid is bubbling off from there on. That way I'm not putting liquid directly in the compressor too much. I'll close that off now. Okay. See, the sight glass is full. Expansion valve, see there's a couple bubbles now. The valve's hunting a little bit. It's opening. But I'm just about done. I'll leave it with a couple little bubbles. It's good. But I'll leave with a couple little bubbles now and then. It's full, pretty much full. And my head pressure, this is 407, it's 195, suction is 63. The walk-in's pretty warm right now, so my evaporator's 33. It's a little high, but that's alright. And that's the new control I put in.